What is up, everybody? My name is Julie, and this is the Busy Life Podcast, where I am going to talk to you about all the craziness and busyness in life, give you my favorite tips, tricks, hacks, anything that I can do to support you get through whatever busy times you're dealing with and come out of it a healthier, happier you. So let's get into episode 1. All right. So for the first episode, I figured I should start by talking about myself a little bit. I should talk about, who I am, why am I here, what is my purpose, what's my reason for being here, and really just help you get to know where I'm at, what I've been through, and what I want to offer you. So first of all, my name is Julie. I'm 28 years old. I'm engaged. I'm getting married in this June to my lovely fiance, Ryan. And I have been through a lot of stress in my life. I'm a teacher. So for those of you who are listening who are teachers, you understand that it's not easy, especially post-pandemic. It is not easy to be a teacher. I'm also a personal trainer. I'm a NASM certified personal trainer, nutrition coach, and women's health specialist. So shout out to NASM. On top of that, I'm also a dog mom. I have 2 dogs. I have a lovely pit, boxer pit, and an adorable little Bassador. For those of you who don't know, a Bassador is a Basset Hound Lab mix. So I've got my boys who are my whole heart. But in order to be fully present in all of these parts of my life, I have to take care of my stress. I can't do that, though, when I'm being super busy and when I am super busy. There was a time in my life where I didn't know boundaries. I didn't know what it was like to say no to things. I didn't know what it felt like to have freedom. And quite honestly, it felt like the deepest, darkest place in my life that I've been in. I never knew what it felt like to be depressed. I've been anxious for a lot of my life. My mom shares that she feels like I really started showing anxiety symptoms when I went to college because it was the first time that I was away from home for so long. I'm also Greek, if you've seen my Big Fat Greek Wedding. It's a lot of family time. It's a lot of people time. I love socializing and I love being with people. And college was the first time that I was not with people and I was kind of separated from my norm. And she shares that she thinks that's when she really thought my anxiety started. But these past 3 years of my life have been like no other. To the point where I honestly sat on the couch some days and I said, I can't do this. The amount of times I said that to my fiance was really, really concerning. On top of all of that, too, I didn't even mention, of course, since I said he's my fiance, but my wedding is in 4 months. We got engaged about a year-ish ago now. So if you've planned a wedding or if you've been in a wedding, you know it's a lot of steps, and that's really stressful. Bottom line is there was too much happening. All the things that I needed to do on top of the things I wanted to do, and on top of all of that, the things I thought I had to do. So, what makes me qualified to do this podcast? I've been through it. I know what it feels like to physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually feel like you don't have or you don't own your life anymore. To feel like it's not yours and that you're living for all these things. And then when you accomplish those things, it doesn't matter because you still feel stressed and there's still something else you need to do because you're so used to being busy. We need to not associate success with being busy. And that's really hard because we grew up in a world where, okay, you got an A, you have to study to do that. Okay, you want to travel, but you have to work really hard to earn money. You're always busy. If you want something, you have to do it to get it. And then when you get it, you realize it was really about the journey. But if we're too busy, we're not appreciating the journey. Well, what happened? Why am I here now? Right? Well, I'll tell you what happened. I lost some of my friends. I gained a lot of weight. I stress shopped a lot. Sorry to my mom and dad and my sisters if they're listening. I overate because I was feeling all the emotions and I found comfort in food. I slept horribly. Oh my God. The panic attacks were so bad. So, how did I realize it? How did I know that being busy is what was ruining my life? Being too busy. Honestly, one thing after another just genuinely kept happening. I would get easily irritated, annoyed, not sleeping well, like I said. Ryan and I would get into really silly fights. It's just all the things that people say happen, they happen. And it's up to you to kind of wake yourself up and realize, geez, this isn't the life I want to live anymore. I also have a therapist, and there was many times that she would say to me, Julie, oh my gosh, you're planning a wedding. You're a personal trainer. You're a teacher. You're doing this. You're doing that. Oh, and on top of this, you have this. Oh, and then don't forget, you also have that. It was just too many things happening at once. So I had to be brave. And I had to say, you know what? Take a deep breath. What can I control? What can I control? And what can we do about it? So that brings me to now. How can I help you? When I realized that I feel like I genuinely lost 3 years of my life. Julie in 2020 to Julie of the beginning of 2023 is a blur. I don't remember her. I don't recognize her. And I would love to get into even more details about what that part of my life was like, because I know that the pandemic messed up a lot of us. There's plenty of studies out there that show that the way our brains function now compared to the way they functioned before are two totally different things. So we will definitely get more into that. But what I want to do is share some of my tips with you guys. I want to bring on many different guests, other people, some of my friends, family, and I want this space to be a normal space, a safe space, a healthy space. And honestly, who knows what normal even is anymore? No, normal isn't a good word to use to describe it, but definitely safe, definitely healthy, and a place where you can come, hear everything that everybody else is going through, hear my stories, and just know that you are not alone. You're not. I want to share tips with you guys. I want to go through some really stressful topics in depth. And I want us to understand that these big feelings that we have and the busyness of life, the stress of life, all of these things that we think we have to do. And if we don't do it, we're not successful until we do them. That's not it. It's about the journey. It's about being present, being authentic, taking life one moment at a time, giving yourself grace, and recognizing that you work so damn hard. Because you do. So, today I want to start by doing something pretty basic. I want to define stress. Because everyone, oh, I'm stressed. Oh my God, I have to do this. This is stressful. No, this is stressful. Have you ever talked to somebody and you get really annoyed because you just want to vent about something, but then they come at you and say, oh yeah, well, I got really stressed about this. Well, we all have our own stressful things going on. But what makes us stressed might not make somebody else stressed. And what makes them stressed might not make you stressed, but it doesn't matter. Stress is stress. So what exactly is stress? Well, according to the lovely Oxford Dictionary, stress is having a great deal of things to do and being constantly in a state of worry, mental, and a lot of mental tension caused by a difficult situation or ongoing life busyness. Ongoing busyness. You are too busy to pay attention to what you need to do that you're so stressed. Okay, I gotta wake up in the morning, right? My alarm goes off, I gotta get up. Oh my God. Immediately runs through my head is all the things I need to do today. Bam, I'm stressed. Well, no wonder. You're thinking of all the things you need to do. You're too stressed that I guarantee you hit snooze. That's the first thing. You're too busy to process what's going on in your life. So, being busy is having too many things to do. Put it together, and there's a busy, stressful life. Being overly busy and exhausted leads to increased stress, which is, of course, more chronic stress, and can decrease your self esteem, include weight gain, lack of sleep. All these things make you an unhappy person. Nobody wants to be around that. You don't want to be that. Nobody wants to be around that. So it's genuinely up to you. Well, you're probably like, Julie, I know I've heard this. What can you tell me that's actually going to make me feel better? Because I already know these things. Well, like I said, I genuinely want you to just pause. Recognize the stress. Recognize that life is really hard. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to get everything done on that to-do list. But you do have to give yourself grace. And you do need to look in that damn mirror and see yourself and say, wow, that's me. I worked so hard for this. That why am I beating myself up? Why am I constantly making myself busy? Why am I so stressed? I really want us to think about that and figure out what can we do to make this better. That stress can trigger even more serious mental health disorders, including anxiety, depression, substance abuse. And this is according to Jody Clark, who's a licensed professional counselor in a private practice who specializes in relationships, anxiety, trauma, and grief. So it's not just coming from me, guys. It's coming from the professionals. This is things that you should already know. Again, you're probably hearing it. And you're like, yeah, I know. Do something about it, okay? I mentioned earlier that stress can come from things that we feel like we can't control. So what can we control? We can control the way that we react to situations. I can control when someone comes up to me at work and says, hey, Julie, I really need you to go, take a look at this student and do this and do that, and maybe let me know about this. Okay. I can either say, I don't know, so many things going on. Or I can just take a deep breath and I can say, all right, I'm happy to go look at them. I'm going to need to write it on my calendar. I can't provide you with an exact date right now, but let me do this instead. If we can control the way we respond to stress, this can help ease some of the pain and decrease the risk of something even more serious or traumatic happening in our lives. And that is the last thing you need to have happen when you're too stressed because you're already too busy. And I'm going to be using these words together a lot because I want you to recognize that a lot of the time, stress comes from being too busy. When you are too busy to pay attention to something important in your life, your brain goes into fight or flight mode and you are constantly in a state of stress. So here's what I can do for you. Enough about me talking about being stressed all the time because I don't want to be boring you. You're thinking, again, I know all these things. I feel all these things. Julie, maybe you're making me feel like I'm even more stressed because now I'm thinking about my stress. I don't want you to do that. I want to be here to help you. Something that I tell my clients a lot is to follow the 5-finger rule. It sounds really simple, but just like I tell my students, you have 5 fingers. There's 5 tips that we can use to help you. And we need to go through them one step at a time. First one, daily movement. I'm a personal trainer, like I mentioned. I love lifting weights. There is just something about picking something heavy up and putting it back down that makes me feel so empowered. Or when you squat and then you can add another 10 on each side and you're like, oh my God, I just lifted heavier. But I get it. Strength training is not for everybody. Find your thing, whether it's walking, bar, yoga, dance, cycling, swimming. It's endless. Exercise is free, especially walking, because you can do it outside. Nobody says you need to go to the most expensive gym where there's, a massive pool outside with a slide and a cafe and a sauna and they have an ice bath and a hot tub. No, that's not movement. That's an expensive gym. Daily movement. Even if you stretch every day for 5 minutes, that's good. That's 5 minutes where you're doing something for yourself. So finger number 1, daily movement. Finger number 2, social media breaks, guys. This is becoming more popular and I'm all for it because social media can 1000% be a trigger, whether you think so or not. You could be following somebody that you love and you support them, but the minute they post something that reminds you of something that you haven't done yet or that you haven't achieved yet, bam, more stress. And now, I guarantee you, going through your brain is a list of more things that you think you need to do because you want to be just like them. Oh my God, okay, so she's got flat abs. Let me go through. Oh, okay, she's drinking more water. She's meal prepping more. Oh, it looks like she's eating this much protein compared to this. Or, oh my gosh, I really want to be just like that guy because, it looks like he's getting up every day and he's doing this. And actually he's meditating. Oh my God, I want to be doing that too. There goes the brain going 1,000 miles an hour. Pause it. I'm not saying some mindless social media scrolling is, totally unhealthy, but take breaks. It's definitely not healthy to be on social media for many, many, many hours. Another one that I know is super popular, especially for people my age, is babies and marriage. And oh my God, she's with somebody, and oh my God, I'm alone, and oh my God, he's doing this and I'm not. Put the phone down, especially when you're moving. Don't do those things together. That ruins it. Number 3, find a way to unwind. And it can be the simplest thing. It can be coloring. It can be sitting outside on your porch. It can be playing a game with your dog. It can be reading a book to your children. Do something that takes your mind off of all the busyness. Do something that makes you present, that makes you truly appreciate and be in the moment. Find a way to unwind. For me, I like to journal. I have 2 journals that I do at night. One is a gratitude journal. I just write 3 things at the end of every day. I know a lot of my friends like to do it in the morning, but for me, it helps me unwind at night. I sit in bed, I put my phone to the side because I'm done with my phone, and I write 3 things that I'm grateful for. Sometimes they're really silly. Like sometimes, I'm not going to lie, yesterday I wrote that I was really grateful for chocolate peanut butter pancakes, which is a whole. But sometimes I write that I'm grateful for chocolate peanut butter pancakes. Other days it gets really deep. I'm grateful for the fact that I have a house. I'm grateful for my fiance. I'm grateful for my dogs. I'm grateful for my students that make me proud, my clients that work so hard. I'm grateful for myself. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm here and that I'm brave enough to sit down and do this podcast that scared the crap out of me because I know I have a bigger purpose. And I'm grateful. So my journal is my time for me to unwind. My second journal is, I got to double check who wrote it, but it's called Let That Shit Go. Again, this is not going to be a clean podcast, so I apologize if there's anybody around who has some littles or anybody with little ears that they need to cover. We might be cursing a little bit in here, so I apologize about that. But that journal also is awesome. It has a lot of pages on it that say things like, write down 5 things that pissed you off today. And then you cross them off. And then you write 5 things that made you happy today, or 5 things that you are proud of today. That's really awesome. And I feel like I can reflect a lot more in that way because I can vent and bitch about the things that make me mad, but then I let them go and I move on. That's a great way to de-stress because you quite literally crossed it off. Anybody else feel like that when they just cross something off? They're like, yes, that's done. I don't have to do that no more. I love that. So we've got daily movement. Don't care if it's even 5 minutes long. Try it. Daily movement. Stretch, walk, do something. Daily movement. Social media breaks. Unwind. And number 4, quality sleep. Oh my God, our world is so tired. I want you to count how many times you've heard somebody say, oh my God, I'm so tired. I didn't sleep good. I'm so tired. Because me too. Me too. I have to get up in the morning and I do my thing. Something I learned from Mel Robbins, she's actually somebody who inspired me to make this podcast, is I get up in the morning, I high five myself in the mirror, and I don't check my phone until I get up to go turn that alarm off. However, if I didn't sleep good, that's a really hard morning to have. And then it messes me up for the rest of the day. I'm sitting in traffic and I'm angry and I'm mad because, oh, I didn't do this and I'm so tired and I got to go to bed early tonight. But oh my God, I have to work out. And there goes the stress because now my brain is too busy. See that correlation? Get quality sleep. How do you do that? Well, I said it. Put the phone away, for starters. Second of all, don't pretend. Don't pretend that you can lay in bed at 11, magically fall asleep in the next 5 minutes while also being ready to get up at 4:30 in the morning so that you can go work out and then you can come back and you can make your breakfast and you can walk the dog and you can do this and make your shake and da 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 da. No, you can't. You need to be real. You need to go to bed at a big girl or a big boy time and you need to go to bed. No judgment if you need ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil and I are buddies. That's okay. No judgment at all. But prioritize your sleep and your rest overall. Anybody who is constantly feeling like the Energizer Bunny eventually dies out. So prioritize your rest and get good quality sleep. And lastly, number 5, recognize when you need help. It's that classic saying that I tell my students. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't sit there and stare at that 3-digit math problem, 500 minus 432, and just stare at it, because we all know that 0 minus 2 is not 2. It's -2, and I can't teach you that. So you have to go and borrow from your friend number 5 in the hundreds place and unbundle. Do that in real life. Ask for help. I know for myself, the thought of having a therapist was terrifying. And it's embarrassing. And I am definitely embarrassed to say that. But it's been such a blessing to have somebody that I can talk to who is a certified, licensed professional and knows what they're talking about. And they know that when I vent about something or I talk about something, she'll say to me, oh yeah, doesn't that make sense, Julie? Yes. But I'm too busy to see things on the outside. Don't want a therapist? That's okay. Not everything is for everybody. Different strokes for different folks, as my mom says. Find somebody that you trust. Find somebody that you can talk to. And no, not your dog. You need somebody that's going to respond to you, that's going to help you process your life and help you recognize that, you know what, maybe you did hit rock bottom, but I'm going to get you back up because you don't deserve to be this low. And you don't need to feel this low. Nobody needs to feel that low. Maybe for a minute so you can recognize what it's like and you can recognize that the things that you've been doing in your life aren't serving you, but for forever? No. It's not your sole responsibility to heal your entire life. You know that phrase, it takes a village? It's true. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. So, I know all of those things may sound cliche, moving your body, taking those breaks, unwinding, quality sleep, and asking for help, but they work. They work. And I need you to try them because I can guarantee you, even if you just pick one, I'm not asking you to do all 5. I know the minute that we hear something, I guarantee you probably wrote this down somewhere and you said, okay, tomorrow morning, I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk. Oh, and then I'm going to have about 5 minutes to put my phone down. Da, 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 da. And I'm proud of you. Hey, I'm not saying no. But remember when we talked about the beginning of this, giving yourself grace? One step at a time. Pick one thing that you can do tomorrow. And not the one that scares you the most. Or actually, you know what? I take that back. Pick the one that scares you the most and try it. Pick one that you know is going to make a difference in your life. And do it. I guarantee you that you're going to notice, oh, wow, all right, well, I'm doing my social media break. And I'm sitting here and I don't know what to do because all I do is I stare at my phone and I'm really bored now. So can somebody come talk to me because now my foot is shaking and I'm getting really, really bored? Yeah, because you are glued to your phone. And when you do that, you're letting the time pass and you're not paying attention to the fact that you have other shit you need to do. Hence more stress, more busyness because the shit you wanted to do today, you didn't get done. I promise there's a method to my madness, okay? Try it. Pick something today, pick something tomorrow, whenever you're listening to this episode, and do it. I want you to practice taking care of yourself and your mind, your body, your spirit, all of it. Because health is not just physical. Being healthy doesn't just mean I am this ideal weight for my BMI or whatever the shit that is. It means that I can confidently look in the mirror, be proud of the person that I see, promise and keep the promises that I'm taking care of that person, and continuously work on this person. Just because you do these 5 things doesn't mean you're perfect. And it doesn't mean you're not busy. It just means you prioritize taking care of you. And that's what all of this is going to end up stemming down to. You're going to realize that you're too busy and you're too stressed because you have too many things going on in your life. And when you do that, you have less time to take care of you. So, thank you so much. If you've made it this far, I am so thankful for you. This is my very first episode. My hands are shaking. So if you're watching the YouTube video of this, my hands are shaking. Woo! I am so thankful for anybody who has sat and made it through this long. Please like, follow, subscribe, share, do all the things. I would love to be able to provide you guys with more insight, more tips, maybe even some super fun guests to come on here and talk about their tips with stress and busyness and what they do to make their lives a little bit easier. Because at the end of the day, and I'm going to keep saying this, you deserve a better life. You really do. I believe in you. I know you got this. Life is not easy, but you can do it. You really can. And I'm here. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.